If you come with me, there's a chance you will die tonight. If you don't, well, it's game over for each and every person in this room. I promise you that. But tonight we got a shot. We can save the Neon Crew podcast. Start over. Do something real. I chose to use a quote from Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, one of the movies we'll be discussing.
Yeah.
Because I felt like maybe finding a quote from my recommendation might make it a little indecipherable.
Challenging,
indiscernible.
Yeah.
Little bit non-specific.
Yeah.
At least with this one, people have a good sense of like, oh, okay. There's like a clear message that's being conveyed. Because what am I going to say from Uncle Boonmee? Like, oh no, my kidney. Like,
yeah, not much.
Yeah,
there's
not much.
There's
oh, hi, son. Welcome back.
yeah, there's ample dialogue, and yet none of it's reflective.
Not isolated. It's very it relies on the visual aid of the movie playing on the screen.
Yeah, I
will say. Like, there's some movies I feel like you could just kind of close your eyes and watch and more or less kind of get what's going on.
Yep.
Like when if I'm in the bathroom and I'm taking a massive beefer.
Yep.
And Megan's watching Community and I can hear what's going on in Community.
Yeah.
I can more or less get the sense of what's happening in the episode.
And do an extra loud laugh in there to feel still a part of the watching experience.
Well, also an extra loud laugh to mask the farting sounds that are coming from the reverberation of the toilet bowl.
Yes.
You know, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Uncle Boonmee, who can recall his past lives, the movie that I recommended, you would be remiss to try and listen to this purely just as an audio form, unless you want nature sounds.
I was about to say ASMR. Yeah. Then it's throw it on.
Yeah. Which this movie, I feel like the combination of the sounds and visuals is like a 1-2 punch of ASMR.
Yes.
And we will discuss it when we get to it.
We will.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 114 of the Neon Crew podcast. My name's Kyle.
I'm Mac.
I'm the stuffy one this episode. If you remember last episode, Mac was dealing with a little nasal congestion.
That's right.
And boy, that was a fun episode to edit. And let me tell you.
Did it come through?
More than a few made it through.
Okay. Yeah.
We record on one single audio track. We're not like isolated amongst ourselves in terms of, you know, the audio. So
right.
If I'm saying something and then Mac does a little a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, kind of hard to cut around that. I might figure out how to separate it one of these days.
Sure.
Only 115 episodes into this show, but
well, it hasn't been a problem yet.
Yeah. Things
People
evolve.
understand you get sick. We're humans.
Yeah, we're humans. Things evolve slowly.
Yeah.
You know, the
slowly.
We didn't get out of the primordial soup in a day.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on. You know, we had to have crawled out of the water gradually. So you were telling me that you watched
around in the water.
You watched Train Dreams.
Yeah.
So how many more movies do you have left?
We're at 3.
3 movies. Okay. You still have Hamnet to watch? Okay. I'm gonna guess because you did see Begonia. No, Begonia is one that you still have.
Listen, man, it's on you. You got to guess. I can't tell you what I've seen.
I'm gonna guess Begonia.
Okay.
Is one of them, and then Sentimental Value.
Close. Begonia, I have seen.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Secret Agent.
Okay.
It's a tough one.
The last one that I watched.
Literally the 3 that were in theaters when they said, hey, we're going to do select theaters.
Yeah. I think Sentimental Value's streaming, or at least paid video on demand. So
I think 2 out of the 3 are, possibly all 3. I don't know. I'd have to look.
I know Sentimental Value is coming to Criterion. Now, I don't think that's until May, so that doesn't help you now.
Not great.
But, you know.
Not great, Bob.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We're hoping not to drop $60 on this.
Yeah. I mean, just get like 5 of your friends to come over, have them pitch in.
Right.
It'll be like $3 a person.
Yeah, and we'll all get to sit there and watch Oscar-worthy films.
Yeah, you'll get to watch some, kind of very personal, slower paced.
3 of them. I think the last, and I'm excited for one and a half of them.
Interesting. I think I know what you mean, but yeah, we'll be excited to find out.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks. We got time.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks.
We got time. The wind's still coming in from the west. We've got time.
Yeah, no, so that'll be our next episode after this one. So if you guys haven't seen those movies, be prepared. And I think this will be the first year that we record our Oscar episode before the actual ceremony.
That's dope.
And,
shit. So next time I got 2 weeks to watch 3 of these films.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like literally you have 2 weeks. Not 2 weeks from when this episode releases, but 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
So keep that in the back of your noggin there.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeehaw.
I'm not breathing hard.
Well, hey, so since you have a decent amount of movies to watch in a short amount of time, I'll offer you this.
Yeah.
With that task, good luck, have fun, don't die.
Yes.
Which, coincidentally, is the exact title of one of the movies we'll be discussing.
Wow, talk about a coincidence.
I know, right? Totally didn't mean for that to happen at all. So if you'll introduce this, I will get Uncle Boonmee later on.
Lucky you. Yeah, here we go. So let's kick it off, guys. We got good luck, have fun, don't die. 2026 film. When did this get out in 2025?
It's probably a festival thing, if I were to guess.
Probably.
Gore
Verbinski doing festivals. The guy that came out with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Fantastic Fest.
Wow.
In September.
Okay, well, that gets back to one of our arguments with Boiling Point.
We don't need to drudge up old grudges.
Every time I get a chance.
Listen, let's just say one of us in this room was maybe a little bit elitist about release dates, and his name rhymes with pile.
We don't need to drudge it up.
I'm
sure, and I know it was 2 against 1 because there was another party member in there that was arguing with you guys on that, with you on that. Back on track.
Yes.
Good luck, have fun, don't die. 2025 film, apparently. 2 hours and 14 minutes. Directed by Gore Verbinski, written by Matthew Robinson. Don't know who that guy is. Just clicked on it real quick. Looks like Tim in the movie. Starring Sam Rockwell as the man from the future, Juno Temple as Susan, Haley Lou Richardson as Ingrid, Michael Pena as Mark, Zazie Beetz.
I think it's Zazie.
Zazie Beetz as Janet, and then a whole bunch of other characters. I don't know if there's anyone in here that caught my eye that I was like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. Essentially, the film starts out we're at a Norm's Diner in Los Angeles. Get this long, just shot. What do you want? The descending shot of Norm's Diner. Kind of places the characters in the moment. You know, we're in the restaurant. We get to hear the clanking. We notice that there's a lot of people on their phones. And what would look like a homeless man comes running into the diner to make an announcement that the end of the world is here, that it is at this pinnacle moment in time that we have a chance to stop it, and that he needs to collect a herd of people to help him with his mission. And we find out that he's been here several times. He's a time traveler, and he goes through and he starts kind of, he's hitting notes on, how he knows who these people are and trying to prove that he's from the future. And, makes his pitch. We get this ragtag kind of assembled team here, and it is like off to the races in this very eccentric kind of everything everywhere all at once vibe of trying to stop AI from taking over.
Yeah.
So, cut that. Spoilers. Good luck, have fun, don't die, Mac.
Mac just got attacked by the AI.
Oh man,
I need to let you guys know.
They did not like that.
No. Yeah, they sent someone back from the future to smuggle inside your throat and constrict it.
Yeah. Little 9-year-old kid there.
Have we covered movies on this podcast that are like, this is almost like the complete inverse of the movie that I recommended.
My God.
Sometimes we'll pair movies up with the intention of knowing that they would pair well. Sometimes it's just like a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
This is one that truly I cannot find any parallel to whatsoever. Maybe kind of about death in a way,
Both of them?
sort of. But like one is
what
like
way they parallel each other?
I'm grasping at straws here, man. I'm searching the weeds for something.
This would be
close.
If this was a hyperbolic function, with the U going on, like we're at X positive, X negative.
Yeah.
Still sitting on that Y axis. And
They're still movies.
Yeah, like it would be I think it's almost in the sense of death, but one's like future looking at death and destruction and madness, and the other one is coming back from the past and recognizing that one's gonna be interesting.
Recognizing the things that brought you there and,
sure,
some of the abstract concepts that touches on.
Abstract's a fun way to say that.
Some would say accurate.
So no, it is, but that's anyways, we'll get to that one.
I was sort of looking forward to this movie. I've seen an okay amount of Gore Verbinski's filmography at this point.
Yeah,
I've seen the 3 Pirates movies that he's done. Those are the only Pirates movies that I've seen. I haven't seen the sequels or anything that he didn't direct. I've watched Lone Ranger, which, is one of those ultimate movies that like you just kind of forget exists until you see the poster.
Yep. Very good. Like the Green Hornet would be another one.
Yeah, which kind of came out around the same time, if I recall, right? Those two movies.
The duo,
Cure for Wellness, I am a big defender of. I really like that movie.
Seen that one yet.
Dane DeHaan. A lot of parallels with that movie and this movie. Obviously, like different tones and everything, but there's a lot of similar imagery going on.
Okay.
And then this movie, which I think, comes after him not directing for a while, right? Like, I don't think he's put out anything
I'm guessing
in a minute.
I think so. I looked at the film. So I was thinking that this guy was like Lars von Trier-esque.
His name certainly evokes that.
So I'm like, I don't know, like, Gore, like, what's he done?
Cure for Wellness was his last movie that he did before this. 2016.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I and that's probably why. Like, it's a name that I've heard before. It must have been in the recess of my mind, like with the Pirates and all that stuff, like in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh man, he's back, and then I was like, oh, how dark and weird is this gonna get? Because I was thinking like if Lars von Trier did like an eccentric or who's our other boy?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good Gus Van Sant.
Like
if they were like if we took like Last Days and just said, hey, we're gonna coke it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was gonna be very like out on the spectrum, out on the fringes, like a little bit more darker.
Yeah, and I mean this movie has like a decent amount of darkness to it, but more drenched in comedy.
Yeah, it's I mean,
obviously
he kind of elevated his game a little bit with this one.
Because Cure for Wellness, his previous movie, is like so serious. Like it's very steeped in that like kind of horror genre.
I don't know if we want to get stuck on that one because that one was kind of that seems like a one-off from the filmography from what he's done.
No, it kind of is in a way because like he came out with that movie and then I think it did okay critically, but I think was seen as a flop. And then he took huge break from directing feature films.
10 years.
Close to 10 years.
Fucking festival.
Well, that's 8 if we're counting Fantastic Fest or whatever the fuck. But no, this movie comes out and it's like, oh, it's like Gore Verbinski movie, but it's like it's kind of more akin to his franchise films where it's like lighthearted, but it's got Sam Rockwell being crazy in it. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was very much looking forward to this movie, and it's got some things that I really like. It's got a lot that I appreciate.
I was very curious as to your take on it because sometimes with these things we don't align.
Right. That's to say, like, didn't completely love this movie. Ooh. I was so on board to just like really bat for this thing.
Okay.
And I do like this movie overall, but I think when it comes to the ending, which we'll talk about,
okay,
I think
spoilers.
It gets a little bit out there for me in terms of the ambition. Maybe not necessarily like the total, because I'm all for like a lot of the crazy concepts that are happening in this movie.
You're already going to the end?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm just talking about like the overall kind of
There
goal
are
of
a
this
lot
film.
of crazy concepts. The whole thing's a crazy concept.
Yeah, and like we should say that this movie is touching on a lot of themes of AI and like technological progress and it getting out of our hands and us becoming a slave to our cell phones.
Kind of like a satire on the state of the human condition
Yeah.
in 2025.
It's very much like a Black Mirror episode, just feature length and sort of way more drenched in comedy than a typical Black Mirror episode would be. That being said, I like a lot of the concepts that this movie is touching on. The story is very simplistic at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't, yes.
I mean, it's a time travel story, but it's basically like an adventure story going from point A to point B. And in between these moments of like progression, you get vignettes of these characters' lives and like what led up to that moment, which I think those moments are really fun. Probably like some of my favorite stuff in this movie.
Yeah, yes.
It's just, to me, like the final kind of confrontation and like all that stuff that leads up to the very end, it feels like something a little too familiar for a movie that has concepts that are willing to go a little bit the extra mile, like kind of touching on these things that are like, oh, these are like a little bit heady and like things that we have to kind of reckon with that we don't necessarily want to, like school shootings and like phone addiction and like all this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, there's just something there at the end that's like, it feels just like a missing piece to me. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I thought he did. I thought he touches on some of these themes. I think it's definitely like a satire, a parody of the human state and where we're at now. I thought this was I thought it was dark comedy. So like I was laughing. There's a lot of lighthearted stuff that does happen, but there is also like, I think he's really poking fun at us, and it's
100%.
It's done in a way. I mean, it's a little. There's some tact, and then there's also like, hey, like we've normalized a lot of the shit that we shouldn't be normalizing. Cell phone addiction, our kids being on these phones at school, impacting. Like it's kind of just how it. I like the teachers going on sabbaticals, right? Like I really, teachers, you can't go on a sabbatical. Like it's just a foreign. But the disconnect between the older generation, the younger generation, and just the fact that we can't reckon with AI. We're not ready to reckon with it. There was a point where I thought it went from, instead of getting a little dark, it decided to get a little bit lighter and fluffier. But I also feel like that's kind of the point of what he's saying is, I'm going to normalize this stuff as the film goes on, and you're going to see how you can become desensitized to it, which is the whole play of the have fun, good luck, don't die charm of it all, is that, it's like at the beginning of this stuff's going to seem like it's kind of, it's going to feel it's poking and prodding, right? And at the end of the day, you're going to get done and you're going to feel like, oh, okay, like that wasn't that bad. But it's really just, how can I shift your reality? How am I going to be able to make you go from feeling uncomfortable to very lighthearted? And I think that it's, at the end of the day, like he did set out to make a film and make money with it, but it felt kind of like a middle finger almost to me as an audience member, of being like, hey, this is how I pulled the linen over your face, and this is how this happens to you.
Yeah, I think I can kind of agree with that to an extent. I mean, I like that this movie does have a lot of that like lighthearted kind of poking fun at the audience element to it. Obviously, like, the whole point of the I'm going to make some comparisons to Black Mirror throughout this, because there's just a lot of crossover here.
Yeah, I've never seen, I've heard, I know what it's about. So the concept doesn't elude me. I've just never seen an episode.
Black Mirror, the whole goal with that show is more so just like the title Black Mirror is alluding to your phone screen when it's not on. And it's literally meant to be a reflection of like the progress of technology and like certain concepts and like what would happen if some of these things got out of hand and how scary that can be. And that show is more meant to just kind of like terrify you with some of the concepts that it comes up with and confronts you with. Whereas this movie, it's like, yeah, a lot of this stuff is scary. Like the idea that these people are just so casual talking about like school shootings and like the idea of like cloning your child and what that means as far as like human connection. But it's also doing it in such a way that I really like, in that it's like so exaggerative and over the top that it's like, look at how silly this shit is, you know? This is so ridiculous,
we just made
right?
her Islamic.
Yeah.
Mom, are we Islamic?
We made her so tall.
Look at it. It cracks me up when she goes outside. Like, go run outside, you big galoo.
I can't help but laugh whenever she enters the room. Yeah. That scene was insane.
Dude, are you like, hey, don't know how I should be feeling about this right now. We lost our third same clone to a school shooting, and we just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, we're so disconnected with what we have going on with our kid, and like don't know how. Like, it's just, we just said, yeah, well, let's just have fun with this one.
It feels like Gore Verbinski, and building to my ultimate point, it feels like he is sort of like checking the pulse of the audience, going like, hey, I'm gonna extend the slider to the like ridiculous extreme just to make sure that you guys still understand that this is silly and fucked up. Right? Like, you're going to laugh along with these because you know that they're ridiculous, right? We're not at that point yet where, like, this shit starts to get too relatable.
I think he was going on, like, he was like, hey, like, welcome to, this is, like, where we're getting to. Like, we're getting to the point now because of what we got going on with phones and technology. Like, human connections don't even exist. Like, you're getting to the point with your kids that you're so okay with school shootings that if you could clone your kid, you get to a point where you just go, I want them back. I just don't, like, it's no longer, it's ours, but not ours.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I kept, I don't know what his intent was, because I can come from your angle where it's like, hey, we're going to be silly. Let's kind of keep it. Just remember, this is all fantasy. Or it could be the opposite end where he's like really going like, this is where we're getting to.
I think he's using humor, and this is just my read on the movie. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's using humor as like the sort of buffer to introduce these concepts that like we're already kind of getting a little too familiar with anyway. To your point of like, oh, this is stuff that is sort of already taking place in some form or another. Like, there are companies whose entire purpose is to like introduce the idea of like, oh, did your child pass away? Well, you can enter their prompts or whatever into this AI.
Yeah.
And it can like produce this moving image that looks like your kid.
If you want to pay a little extra, we can give you the ad-free one.
Right, but like this is shit that's happening now, and it's like this stuff is so ghoulish.
That's what I'm saying.
You like Gore Verbinski can't help but put humor in it, because it's like if he were to be 100% straight faced with this stuff, it would just be the most depressing shit imaginable.
Yeah, but it's. Yes, I agree, and I think, I mean, you can have fun with it, but I don't know.
Good luck, have fun,
dude. It really felt like he was like the whole, even the title being introduced that you're going to be in, like you don't even know the reality that you're in. Mm-hmm. That's why I think I don't know. I think it was well written. I think it was intentful with what it was trying to go for in terms of like. Hey, it might all seem good, but don't take a look back on the film from where it started to where we got to. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's how this happens.
Yeah.
You kind of, you start to disassociate, right? You assimilate with the times, and all of a sudden, like you start to lose focus on kind of like what it means to be human.
Yeah, and like have these real relationships and human interaction, and I mean that's a lot of what the like Haley Lou Richardson storyline is, and like the idea that she is physically allergic to technology, Wi-Fi, and like phones or whatever, and then she meets this guy who like has this idea of like, yeah, I'm just going to completely reject technology. We're going to live life the best we can without it, and we're going to be happy. What's this? A VR headset that was delivered by accident, air quotes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to try it out, see how it goes. And then immediately the dude is addicted to it and is totally convinced of the fake reality that it's built for him, and that the real reality that we live is so miserable. And it's such a self-perpetuating thing, because like this technology makes real life miserable. So then how do you escape it? You go into the technology. Yeah.
That was one of the, I was thinking of like parallel realities.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is insane, because like all these, and they show them like they're drugged up, right? They're junkies. They're looking to get their next fix, their next high, which is what technology essentially is. It's that dopamine rush. You get it when you scroll through your social media, right? You get all these feelings, all this dopamine release, or whatever the fuck it is, right? your neurosenses, and that's essentially what it is. You set it down, and now all of a sudden you got to go, well, I got to go back because I need to get that fix again, or else I mean, it's mind numbing of me just sitting here being in the room or wherever you're at, right? So it's like it's catch-22, or it's just a very interesting take on your perception and reality. Like I thought that was one of the more interesting things that was going along, and even the movie itself, with how it ends, right? It lends itself to say, hey, what reality are you living in?
See, that's where I kind of rub up against it a bit and like have a bit of an issue. Because to me, it's like sort of overextending its hand. I didn't necessarily need the sort of like fake out, like, oh, the happy ending is actually not the true reality of the story playing out. And, well, it's all a facade that was built by the AI anyway. Oh, he japed you. He got you. It's like, okay, this movie is already doing enough to sort of like poke fun at the audience and just the concept of like our involvement with technology in general, that I don't necessarily need that extra patronization that it has towards me at the end, where it's literally looking at the screen telling me good luck, have fun, don't die. Like,
I will say,
if that works for you, cool. It just was for me a little too much.
I did not. The only reason why I actually appreciated it more is that, and it's one, so and I don't know if you're going through it, throughout the film, it's kind of like, as we start to get a little bit more into technology and you understand about the world that you're in right now, there was all right, he came back from the future, right? And he talks about, the man from the future talks about, how these people get set up in these VR systems, right? Like you have to overcome obstacles. Like Tim goes on his rant about what it means to be human. And he says, well, why can't you do that in the VR world, right? Like you can still have the same attributes and success and challenges in there than you could in the real world. You just don't have any of those emotions attached to it, right? So if you fail in the VR world, right, you just reset. So there's no like emotionality attached with it. But so while that's going on, I was sitting there trying to be like, all right, like where's Sam Rockwell coming to play with all this? And there was an interesting thing that popped up that Tim said. And he says, oh, it's when we're on our VR world, it's kind of like aloha. We say, have fun, good luck, don't die. Right? And he says that, and then I go, and I don't know if you had it, but I'm like, okay, the name of the movie's this now. So I went, oh shit, like where are we at in this world now, right?
Are we actually in the virtual?
So I thought it was like a kind of a wink and a nod to the title to say, hey, you don't even know, like in and of itself of what you're experiencing, you don't know if what you can hold yourself for is tangible or non-tangible, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I like the ending, because it gave me a little bit more clarity on what I was experiencing as an audience member. I think where I kind of bumped up with it is Sam Rockwell's piece in it, and all right, now he's resetting. Is this are we living this constant VR loop?
Yeah.
Or is this a
It almost like takes away the stakes a little bit too much, and that like literally everything up to that point like didn't matter, and that he's just gonna try it again but better, hopefully. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Took some of the juice out of it for me.
I mean, there's a little bit like, yeah, because I mean, if you want some resolution, you don't get it, but it's like, and I don't mean like you don't understand. I'm saying you just it's not.
It
there.
doesn't give it to you, yeah.
Right, but it also kind of does play into where we're at with society now, which there is no resolution with what we have going on either. So it holds up to that.
Do you think it's like commentating, even inadvertently, possibly, on the idea of like instant gratification and how like, because the way that the initial climax is set up is very kind of like straightforward and like shit that we've seen in movies a dozen times, where like, oh, the villain tries to make this last appeal to the character, and like, oh, this twist is revealed and blah, blah, blah. And they have to make a choice whether or not to like, get tempted by the villain or like, save the day and like push through and barrel through or whatever. And it's like, okay, this is shit where it's like pretty simplified, like big monstrous imagery, like one last go at it. They literally save the day at the last second. The sun is rising. Yeah. Do you think that it's like, and I know they even go so far as to say like, oh, you'll think you'll have like the happy ending and like obstacles to overcome that are like just enough for you to get by through. And it's like, I wonder if it's like maybe inadvertently touching on the idea of like life is not actually filled with instant gratification the way that technology promises us.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe that's what it's going for. If that's the case, then it felt like just it maybe needed a little bit more sanding around the edges for me. But I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna knock the. Yes, I think that's part of the case, and I think that's why they have this VR world, and that's why they're talking about this whole other world that you can live in. If you wanted to program yourself and live in, World of Warcraft for 24/7, you absolutely could, right? And you will experience the lows and the highs within that world. But in terms of yourself, you're not going to have that piece of defeat or having to go through stress and anxiety with it, right? It's just on to the next phase.
Yeah.
So, yeah, stoicism, right? So that instant gratification piece, it feels like the challenges maybe are a little bit bigger, but you can still overcome them. Like, I'm trying to think of I just think about the ending with Michael Pena and Tim, whoever played Tim.
Yeah.
And Zazie Beetz, and they're all kind of hugging each other. They're like, wow, can you believe that and
we did it.
Yeah. And I think that plays into, I think all of that just kind of plays into what we're experiencing as a society right now of like, I mean, and I guess granted their shit that they went through was, my mind's flooding with thoughts.
Yes.
So I don't want to. I'm gonna hold on to all that. I do think to some extent, yes. I think it does touch into this alternate reality with what we have with the technology, instant gratification. I think it plays a little bit into that. I think it's also just talking about like how much we deplete our dopamine with all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Like when we talk about instant gratification, it's like hedonism, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why infinity pool gets brought up. It's that I am going to do what satisfies the urges now as opposed to holding off and doing what's right and noble. Mm-hmm. So it could be. I think the reason why I have an issue with it just a little bit is because I don't know if the man from the future is the man from the future, or if Ingrid is in a VR world and she's going to reset it to norms.
Right.
And he shows up because she has to get through the challenge again. So that's where I struggle with some of the clarity on what's grounded and what's elevated.
Like, did this AI construct this VR world for her, but that he still somehow had like consciousness through and was able to kind of like see, like, is everybody now living in the VR world effectively? And that the safeguards didn't work, or the safeguards are the ones that are like working with, or like it was just moot from the start, whatever it is.
Well, it's like what? Yeah. So I mean, if you did hurt, like let's say everyone had a challenge, right? But they all met up, and it's kind of like a World of Warcraft. We're going to get the gang together to take down the dragon, right? Mm-hmm. And she is living in this. She's going throughout the challenge, right? And it's like you have to reset the level every time you don't pass it. Maybe it was like a fake, like you're going to destroy AI, but not really destroy it. Like I don't. Yes, there's some questionable things that go on with it, but I do think it plays into society now, and this. I'm not going to really be able to think about how to word it, but there's no solve with it, right? Like if he's really speaking on technology and today,
it's not like they're just going to like hand it to you. It's not like a life is not going to like hand you the solution on a silver platter,
right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, I feel like if you even think about the logistics of it, or like try to anyway, it's just all gonna fall apart in your hands like wet sand. Like, just like, oh, there it is.
The construct of the rules are a little loose, and especially with where we're at, it's hard to decipher like what the man from the future coming back. It's also how many people are not connected.
Yeah, I mean that opening scene, maybe my favorite part of the movie, like when he goes into the diner and he's like trying to make the case, and they all just think he's some crazy homeless dude.
I mean, the only reason why if you hadn't seen a trailer, you kind of. I don't even know if Sam Rockwell is that discernible from how he normally looks.
Yeah,
like when I saw a trailer on this, I only saw the one trailer, and I was like, oh, okay, I got to check that out because that looks kind of fun, right? Mm-hmm. I'm all about original content. It took me until the end of the trailer to be like, I think that's Sam Rockwell because I recognize his voice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's like, I would say he's still recognizable. He's just, like you said, caked in this get-up. He looks like a weird, crazy robot man.
But they do a couple close-ups on him and stuff like that. You get a little bit more of the face and you hear him. Yeah,
he's like covered in dirt and grime. He's got his beard all grown out.
I love that. He's
a shaggy motherfucker.
Opening monologue was...
He is fantastic in this movie.
Yeah, he's yeah.
This is a movie that, like, okay, if it had been anybody else, I probably would have been, like, on board more or less for, like, he is the sauce that makes this thing
I don't
delicious.
know who else you get in that role.
I mean, you would struggle to figure it out. I mean, I'm certain there's, like, maybe a few people, but, like, this...
Tim Sham.
I don't know, man. I need you guys to follow me.
Dude, think about Marty Supreme with him, the freneticness about him in that movie.
Yeah, different types of frenetic energy for sure. This one is more just like Groundhog's Day confidence, like Bill Murray is going through, like naming everybody and like their secrets and like what makes them tick.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I also like that they pull in a lot of other movie references into this.
Yes.
You know, there's some construction around some other elements that makes this. It's really. I think it's fun. I mean, it was. I was on board the whole time.
Yeah,
you know.
No, like, he's great. I love him so much. I gotta shout out my girl Haley Lou Richardson.
She was pretty good, yeah.
I really like her. Hachi Machi, big crush. Hard eyes going everywhere. She's in one of my favorite movies, Columbus, a movie that I will hopefully recommend on this podcast one of these days. Surprising that I haven't pulled the trigger on that
my God. Me and Gideon, we were talking about it at your birthday. We were talking about
really?
That one,
Oh, is he trying to dissuade you?
Stir up shit.
Little fucker.
No, we were talking about how you get on movies sometimes and then they just don't get brought back up. And I think we were also talking about weapons because like you were like really like you had a lot like everything you said was positive and then you're like 7 out of 10.
I gave it an 8.
I know, but I was like we didn't have like one negative thing to say and you're just like it's like a very solid 8.
There's some movies where like the connectivity is a big part of it. How it made me just
absolutely. That's where I got in with rewatchability because I started going through these Oscar films after I watched Train Dreams and I was like, I got my list going and I thought about F1 because like that is right now the last one on there and I was like,
yep.
Boy, but I'd rewatch that over and I go, does that make it a better film? I said, no, just because you can rewatch it doesn't make it better. And I was like, well, what are we talking about then? If we're talking about movies and like, so anyways.
That's the great thing about movies, man. Subjectivity.
Yeah. It opens up a lot of dialogue. So,
but no, I really liked her. I feel like I connected with her story quite a bit. Just the idea of like, seeing people that you love getting like just butt fucked by this technology in a way that's like, any like really you could just like use that storyline for like any sort of analog for addiction, whether or not it's like drug use or drinking or like technology, porn addiction, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're going to be seeing multiple versions of this that we just have not been able to conceptualize before. It's fascinating to me that there's multiple movies that depict specifically VR as being like an addictive thing.
Yeah.
You've got this movie, you've got Upgrade, you've got Ready Player One. I think it's a thing maybe in the new Dread movie.
I guess it does, yeah.
But no, like just, I don't know. It's one of those things where like, there's like a commonality in how technology is depicted in this way that is like, it just feels like the natural progress point, you know?
There's... Yeah,
the desire for escape, whether it's like through VR or drugs or like whatever it is for you.
I would, serotonin, dopamine, and what's the third one? All that shit gets released depending on whatever's going on with your body, right? And dopamine is one of the things through drug use. You can see it in your neuroactivity in the brain. That the more it increases, that's why they call it addiction, right? Like you get your alcoholism, your weed, whatever you're using, it requires more of a dose. And people go, you build up a tolerance. No, it requires you to get that you're high again. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's what technology. It's a weird concept because it's not taboo, right? It's not in the realm of being sort of why can't I think of the word? Using a negative light, right? But it really does impact your brain and how you function in your everyday living. And I really like that gets brought up to one of these things, your, what did he call it? Morning emails. So he called it your morning phone time. It went from 5 minutes and then it went to 8 minutes. Next thing you know, you're at work, you're still on your phone. And that's how you get roped into it. And there's I think some of the messaging does get a little misconstrued. And I'm not saying between us, but I do think that it gets misconstrued because of the tone of the movie.
It's going for a lot at the same time in multiple different instances. Like, this movie's almost biting off more than it can chew in terms of like what it's trying to like, build its themes around or portray or like send across as a message to us. And it's like, yeah, some of this stuff will just naturally land a little bit better than others. Like,
yeah, you're saying it's just too wide of a lane, and that's why you had a little bit. You bumped up with it, right?
The lane gets a little wide.
Yeah.
The more this movie goes on and on.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I mean, I still think it's like touching on these things in a way that's like, yeah, it's fun. It makes you think. How did you feel about the AI cat creature thing?
There's a couple things that happened in here. I was like, I guess I don't know what this represents, what we're getting at.
Yeah, to me the cat was like, oh, this is just like the ghoulishness of AI prompts and just how uncanny that whole thing is, like generative AI. Because they were talking about like all the different possibilities of like, we could deal with like Navy SEALs or like, whatever, like pirates, and they're like, what about kittens?
Yeah.
He's like, no kittens. Don't trivialize this. Don't make light of this.
See, that's what oh man, I was laughing throughout this thing. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I mean, that thing was all. I mean, it was what it was.
Yeah,
and that makes sense with what you're postulating.
Yeah,
I think it was also like, to me, when I saw it in there, I was like, all right, now I know that we're in some sort of alternate reality with this, because it can't be constructed in the so.
Right.
It aided to what my theory was going for.
Did you clock the twist?
It's funny that you say that.
Yeah.
I did not, but
I definitely did.
I was what do you mean clock? Like when it's occurring?
When
there are like 5 minutes left?
When he's talking about his life and like that flashback scene where
yeah.
My mom, took care of me, blah, blah, blah.
As soon as he started drawing the sunrise, because she had mentioned to Tim, hey, we're going to watch the sunrise.
Well, and then he also mentions to her, like, would you want to have a kid? And then I was like, well, there's no reason that he would ask her that if it wasn't going to be brought up later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that coming. Especially when he like saves her from the falling car and is like, no, you're important. I got to save you.
Yeah, it took me a little longer than that, I will say. Like I did not when they talked about the kid, I was like, and they show him banging the bed. I was like, wow, it could just be a gratuitous sex scene, And then they talked about the kid, and he saved her, and I was like, all right, Ingrid's got something going on. I don't exactly know what it is.
Yeah.
But then when he was a kid drawing the sun, I was like, oh, okay.
Especially when they weren't showing the mom. I was like, oh, it's going to be her.
Yeah.
It's going to be Ingrid.
Yeah.
Like, ain't no way it's fucking not.
Yeah. Nah, it was two different ways to get there, but yeah, definitely saw it coming, and I was like, all right, when's she gonna pop up? No, I thought you meant like when they were. It always bugs me when it's like we got 3 minutes left, and then it's like a 15-minute, like, and it's like,
I know,
how slow is fucking time going?
It's like it kind of plays into like her sequence confronting the AI, and like obviously like time is dilating for them.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying like.
But yes, I know what you mean. Like in the real time when it says like on his watch, like, oh, I got 20 seconds left, and then the scene lasts for like 15 seconds.
It was 5
and then he cuts
minutes,
back, and it's like, oh, I've got 17 seconds left. It's like
that's what I thought. Yeah,
ain't no fucking way, buddy.
That was driving me nuts.
Yeah, I'm always very aware of stuff like that,
dude. I think that was probably the most that I got taken out of this film.
Yeah,
was like that alone. That, and then the constant questioning of like, where are we at with this reality?
Well, like that whole like final confrontation scene, I don't necessarily like hate the imagery. In fact, I think it's kind of
with Ingrid and the kid,
just like that mountain of cables and like them confronting the kid, and it's like, okay, this is like some cool imagery, and I like how this is being portrayed, but it's like, this is stuff that is like pretty simplified as far as like, a final movie climax goes, like a final bad guy confrontation.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to go like outside. I think outside the realm of everything was like the kitten and then the cloning of the kids and stuff. Like, I don't know if he had to make that much more grandiose.
Well, I think I read that the writer of this, Matthew Robinson, was more so originally envisioning this being a story about like, just a teacher being unable to get their students to engage with a piece of text because of their phones or like technology or whatever.
Michael Pena.
Right. And obviously that translates through the Michael Pena story, but he was like, I realize that there's not much narrative depth I can do with this that could sustain a whole feature.
Yeah.
So then I started writing this idea of like, this guy comes from the future, and from there he like built the rest of the story. But I don't know. There's like a lot about this movie that feels almost appropriately and inappropriately thrown against the wall, just to see kind of what sticks.
To some extent.
Yeah.
Like the school shooting stuff to me was like that, and then the cloning of the kid. But like
the school shooting stuff was like so dark and funny.
It was.
That was very effective.
But like they don't go back to it. It was just kind of like, hey, like, in terms of normalizing society, here's something we're just going to talk about: school shootings.
Right.
Oh,
here's a concept that we can check off the list.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about how to be, not be necessarily connected to our kin, right? Or how we're losing touch with the people around us. Like we're going to have this. We're going to have a support group for our kids and how to help out with trying to connect to our AI bots, but it's really just parents getting drunk and hanging out.
Yeah.
It also cracked me up though. I really liked that she kept getting like cards. It was like, go to the next one.
I was like, how many cards is this poor woman going to get?
Because it feels like it's like the pop-up blocker stuff, like, hey, click on this, go to the next page, go to the next page.
That's true.
There's some I think there's underlying things that were happening too that at least resonated with me that made it feel so much more that it was like this was like a walking ad. You know?
Like there's a lot going on. Oh, this is like kind of clever how this is being portrayed.
Yeah. And then they did it in a fun, like a fun, probably darkly humor way.
Yeah.
That was I think my favorite if we had to do the vignettes, mine's the Michael Pena and Zazie Beetz.
I like that. I like how chillingly that is portrayed. And obviously like zombie stuff can be a little trite, but I like the way that sort of like initial activation was shown with like him touching the phone, and like he's just like going through staring at the screens and they're all just watching fucking nonsense.
Oh, it was awful.
It's one of those things where like you've definitely been in a situation where you've glanced at someone's screen that they've just staring at, and you're like, what the fuck are they? What they've gone from like this app to this app, and like they've pulled this video up and then paused it in like the span of 5 seconds. Like they're not even doing.
Dude, when
anything.
I watched Marty Supreme, the fucking high school chicks in front of me were on their phone.
Yeah,
like you looked at it's Instagram, TikTok, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? We're watching a movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
this boy sent me a picture of his butthole. It's like, no. Tim Cham is on the screen. You need to pay attention.
Watch his butthole.
Yeah, watch his butthole getting paddled by Kevin O'Leary.
But I love the reason why I love that so much is because it is so much like a war zone now. Like,
yeah, the way they describe it is like they're in Iraq.
Oh my god, he's like, look what I made. I made these jammers. Oh my god, they look like something from Mars Attacks. Yeah, great movie. Anyways, but one of the funny things is like, aren't there rules against phones? And the guy goes, what are you, nuts? Is there any rules in war? They're sitting in the teacher's lounge like they're talking. Oh my God, they're strategizing on how to defeat the kids. It was, and Michael Pena, just so like totally out of his realm.
Yeah.
Right?
I like the sort of incongruity of the idea that there are people who like just one generation above the last are like the last ones to be aware of the dangers of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like, just kind of have levels of critical thinking and like processing that like, you're still like a functional human being, and literally everybody younger than you is just a zombie. But then you've also got the Juno Temple thing where it's like, she's an adult who like other adults around her just accept this morbid reality.
Yeah.
And like you can't even necessarily trust like people your age because they just will simply hand wave a tragedy now, which is like, it's alarming.
That's what
an alarming reflection.
Normalizing things that were not normalized before. Like
Yeah.
when they did the school shooting thing, I was like, oh my God, this is kind of getting weird. And then the parents are like, oh, honey, are you here? What, is this your first school shooting? Well, they'll take you back there. And I was like, all right, this is kind of odd.
What do you mean first school shooting?
Yeah, like what are we and why? And then she's like, oh my God, the traffic's going to be so bad. Like,
it's like when one of your kids goes through puberty and another parent's like trying to give you advice about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you mean this is shit that just happens?
Yeah,
like
that's
more than once that I'm gonna have to deal with.
when that couple was talking about their daughter, I was like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. It's like one of those things too. I think the reason why I like this thing so much too is it's all dependent on how you take it too. Because there's one aspect where it's very morbid, dark, and like, what the fuck are we doing? And then you look at, you're listening to these people talking. Like, this is so silly and outlandish. Like, hopefully we can all laugh at this in like 5 to 10 years and be like, wow, can you believe where we were at in the 2020s?
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's just different elements for how you perceive it, which is another reason why. I mean, it's just. I think it makes it for witty and fun dialogue and the script writing.
Yeah. I like the way that the dialogue's written.
Yes. Yes.
And like the most part, I like the acting portrayals too. And
Yeah.
like, the characters. I mean, it's just mostly like some of the story elements that I just kind of have a hard time wrapping my brain around with how simplistic it can be. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's mostly where I'm at with it.
Isn't like there are a lot of movies. I mean. And it's Gore Verbinski, too.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it like needs to be uber complicated or anything.
I'm just wondering, too, like if you really, I mean, there's a lot of movies you could simplify down, right? Like, isn't it? They kind of give you the stakes up front. They tell you where you're going to, which is another reason why I think, the title plays into the movie itself.
Yeah. I'm all for it. Like, I don't hate when a movie is simplistic overall. Self-aware and also just like the idea of just like the mixture of what it's trying to convey.
Yeah.
Like all these different concepts that are being kind of touched on with a pretty broad brush at points.
Yeah.
Is just sort of where, a little bit of the shakiness is.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Yeah.
But no, this movie looks great. I love the way this is shot, especially that opening diner scene
It's like
super kind of like sleek, but like the blacks are super black with like the color grading.
Yeah.
The costume design obviously on Sam Rock.
Oh my God. Yeah. No. This thing looks great. I mean, it's got the points where it's very sleek looking, and then it's got the points where it's very grungy and dirty and seedy.
Gore Verbinski is one of the directors that I can tell he loves shooting things that are like kind of grotesque and off-putting in like the sleekest way possible.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of how Cure for Wellness was, and that's a lot of how this movie is too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of similarities there.
That was Carl's favorite burrito.
Yeah. The imagery of like the wires becoming like these limbs and like trapping the characters, very, very much like Cure for Wellness imagery there too.
You keep going back to the movie.
I do keep going back to the movie. He directed
really dipping into that.
Listen, there's some parallels, man.
It sounds like you're like, hey, if you want to see a good movie, watch Cure for Wellness.
Listen, there's people who give Cure for Wellness a little bit of guff, maybe rightfully so, but I defend that movie, and I'm not saying that I hate this movie. Yeah. I like this movie quite a bit.
Okay.
It's just got some things that I'm like,
yeah.
Could you understand what I meant by
it rubs you the wrong way. It kind of gets under your skin. You're not really like you probably saw a little bit more of a narrow pathway there for something that could have been even better in your eyes, and it went buffet style, right? Instead of, hey, like we're gonna give you this nice entree.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can go the wrong. Captain America and the fucking Red Hulk guy movie.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the official title.
Yeah.
They changed it now.
I can't remember what the hell it's called.
At first it was Captain America New World Order. And then people were like, oh, this might have some like fascist connotations with it. So then they changed it to Captain America Brave New World.
Yeah.
And then finally, after months of deliberation and like fine-tuning audience reception, they were like, you know what? We're going to give the people what they want. We're going to retitle this, finally, Captain America and the Red Hulk guy.
Yes, that's where you can see I landed with it.
Yeah, that's where America landed with it. God bless him. You can't see it right now, but I'm saluting.
Yeah, to the sound mixer. No, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's points, and maybe it could have been a little bit more of like a weapons kind of focus, right?
It almost kind of had that feel to it,
At the
especially with
beginning?
like, the vignettes and
And
like,
the chapter style,
the
like,
characters and all that stuff.
I was just thinking more so like weapons doesn't turn into being too robust. Right.
No,
Where
and that's what I like about weapons.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think if it had gone that, I like the buffet. Like if it's eccentric enough, kind of like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think we were both like in a similar.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's very eccentric.
Stylistically, this is very similar.
Yeah, and I felt, and I guess that one's probably a little bit more narrow. It's just some of the scenes that they go to get there. Yeah, because I guess thematically speaking, there's really just one thing that they were looking at. So, yeah, no, I get it. I understand. I mean, that's that. So your noise, yes, I understand what you were saying.
Yeah. Shall we get into ratings? Unless there was other stuff we wanted to talk about with Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
No, this is. I mean, I don't know how much you could really get onto unless you really looked at individual vignettes, scenes, or kind of themes.
Yeah, unless we like really broke it down.
Yeah, no, this is I'm good on it.
We talk about Tim's facial hair in that one scene.
I will say, and I really appreciated this too, is that Ingrid had to dress up as a princess.
I fucking love her look in this movie so goddamn much.
She is so like it's counterculture, right? Like
it's maybe one of my favorite things of all time.
Princess.
Yeah.
Like I don't. But it's where we are also at with girls now, because I was thinking about Willow watching this. Like, there's a lot of things where, like, when it comes to, feminine culture and little girls getting raised in the princess world, right? Where it's like, yeah, I guess, And so you're seeing it, though, and I'm like, oh, they were doing it because every little girl now, we're standardizing, these kids, where that's why you can clone them and shit, is that you have to be a princess. You have to be a princess in a Disney movie. Mm-hmm. You have to reflect one of these princesses, and the whole theme around what you're doing today with the birthday parties focus around the princess and she just is like kind of just generic princess. Like,
but I love that it's like the princess outfit with the boots, and the like messy hair, and the caked on makeup that's like smeared all over.
It's reflective of her approach to like where it's a divergence, right?
Yeah,
you have all these kids dressed up the same, all wearing the same. They have the the buns and all that shit, and then you got her, and she's saying, "Hey, just be yourself. Have your own identity. Mm-hmm. You can still like princesses, but you don't have to be the look-alike princess, So that it was a good. I loved it. Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, it really reflected her character too.
Yeah, I wish her character involved coming up to me and hitting me because I want her to do that.
Oh yeah, don't lay it on too thick.
All right, let's get into ratings.
Yeah. Before I talk more about Haley Lou
Richardson hears how much of a fucking creep weirdo I am and never wants to see me ever. No. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, I thought was a decently fun time. I went into this with not too many expectations. Came out of it satisfied. Liked what I saw visually. The performances are really fucking stellar from Sam Rockwell, Haley Lou Richardson, and in particular, I want to give a shout out to Juno Temple. I thought she was really good in this as well.
Yeah.
And I like the vignettes. Some of the concepts, I was a fan of them being touched on in the way that they were. Others, I felt were a bit more of a mixed bag, especially when combined with what this movie is just trying to blanket overall. Mm-hmm. Just like taking all these things and like mashing them into one monstrous cat conglomeration thing, like the movie itself does. But nevertheless, this is one that I will look back on fairly fondly. Yeah. So this is a solid 7 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
Yep.
Saw that coming. And I also think, too, I can now see with the ending, it's kind of like, remember when well, I don't want to give things away. There's been movies we've talked about. I was like, oh, it was in their head the whole time. And you go, what the fuck's the point of telling the story?
Yeah.
That's, I could see probably another reflection of this thing with your beef with it.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, there's that element is in there. Which I, for some reason, because I do talk to other people about movies and they have that same perception, I don't know why I don't care. And I guess maybe just because the story in itself is built in someone's head. So I'm like, essentially, I'm just watching someone else's thoughts. So what's it matter if we go Inception style on this?
Right.
But that's where I get unique with my takes on stuff. No, I thought this was a great time. I was, is it Rolfing quite a bit?
Rafflecoptering?
Yeah, I hope it's not that. Is that where you laugh so hard you puke?
That's where you laugh so hard you're rolling around on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Like helicopter blades.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Misread that one. Yeah. Nah. I mean, this was like I would say a lot of the jokes landed for me. I had a good time, and especially kind of once I got past some of the uneasiness, which is also one of the things where I feel like I'm I turn into a more stupid person because I am accepting, and I feel like that's what they're getting at is that I will do that. But ultimately, it's a fun, eccentric, dark comedy that made me think a little bit. There's a lot of takes on it. I think there's a lot of different discussions that could get built around this and theories that could get postulated with like what he was going for. And it could be, the whole premise was about school shootings that somehow gets attached in there. So movies like that, I really like the different lanes that different ideas that can be associated with it. Characters are fantastic, beautifully shot. When I got done, I don't like grading movies as soon as they get done.
Yeah.
I pulled it up and I was gonna go 8 out of 10, but I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna look back finally on this. As soon as it comes out, I'll probably rewatch it again. I think this would be a movie too. Like I told Jasmine, I was like, I think you'd be able to sit down and watch this and have a good time. So this is a 9 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
Yeah, which I don't know if I'd ever think after. So I know I've talked a lot. Gore Verbinski, didn't know who he was. Pulled up his filmography as soon as I saw it because I was like, I'm going 9. Going 9 out of 10. I'm like, who is this guy? Looked him up, saw Pirates, Lone Ranger. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what? And I was like, I don't think I'd ever say that about this guy directing.
He has an eccentric filmography.
But I think some of his directing style and his choices kind of reflect throughout his films, and it makes it sound like a cure for wellness. Also has a little bit of his identity in there.
Oh, big time.
And you can kind of get some of the Pirates vibe going through this, and he's able to take some of these very unique ideas and bring them into life in a fun way. And we're not going to hammer those films, but at least the first one was like mildly enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here for gore.
Yeah.
Give more gore.
Give more gore.
Give more gore.
Then we need to get that on a shirt.
Yeah. Give more gore.
Just a hand with like a bloody, like a sawed off hand, but holding one of those old director, like the cameras with the reels, and then that'd really confuse people.
It would I love out of context shirts like that.
Yeah, but it's like, man, it's our boy Verbinski.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't, it looks like gore.
It looks like you guys are just advocating for violence.
Yeah. You're totally misreading the shirt.
No. You just don't get it.
Yeah.
I love telling people that. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Yeah. So counterculture.
Speaking of counterculture.
Oh, God. Any sort of culture.
This is a movie that has a decent amount of culture in it, portrayed in a very unique, meditative, spiritual way.
Yeah.
And, of course, we're talking about my recommendation of the movie. This is the full title. Uncle Boonmee Who Can Recall His Past Lives.
Yep.
So this is my recommendation. This is a film that came out in 2010. It's a Thai fantasy drama film written, produced, and directed by, and I think I'm going to get this, Apichatpong Weerasethakul.
Cool.
He is a Thai director. He's directed many movies. A lot of them I have never heard of.
Sure. Unless you're into that kind of subgenre.
Yeah. So this is a movie about the idea of this man who is going through this illness. He's got kidney disease.
Mm-hmm.
We're never like really specified as to like what exactly it is, or if it's just kidney disease straight up.
Get that on a shirt.
Just that sentence.
Yeah.
But we're shown him being taken care of by his sister-in-law, his I think nephew,
Yeah.
and his like assistant, that his like Laotian assistant that he's hired to help him for his treatments, his kidney treatments, and we're quickly shown that in this process of dealing with this illness, where he's like moved out to the countryside to kind of, live his last days, he is visited upon by his late wife and also their son, who has had a very interesting spiritual journey of his own, to say the least.
I guess, is that what? Yeah.
And so I'm so excited to talk about this.
Oh my God. I bet you are.
And so we're just kind of shown the sort of like spiritual contemplations of this man's last days, along with the idea of him recalling some of his past experiences, not of his corporeal body, but of previous lives that he may or may not have lived. So, spoiler alert for
how many of
Uncle
these
Boonmee?
lives? They show like one past life.
They get a little funny with it. They get a little silly with it.
Yeah.
They're like, the movie's called Past Lives, but we're only going to really kind of show you one, maybe?
Yeah. And you make the call.
Yeah. Which life is it?
Yeah. Who was he?
Is he the servant? Is he the princess? Is he the fish?
Yeah. I hope he's not the princess.
No.
Depending.
I mean, she looked like she was having fun.
Man, you chalk that off for like gratuitous sex scene.
It's like, I would love to go on IMDb and see like what the parental guidance description for that scene is.
Couldn't tell you. That's such an awkward one on how to describe what is happening.
Yeah, and we've said spoilers, right? So
spoilers now.
We're safe to say that in this movie, there's a woman who gets eaten out by a fish, a catfish specifically.
I don't know if it's eaten out or fucked.
I mean, really, at that point, what's the difference?
It's
mouth forward.
Yeah, definitely. But you don't know. I mean, he's going side to side. So is the whole body going at her, or was he just that, invigorating?
Right. Is he like the ultimate, like, this is for you, queen type of guy? Like,
sounded like. I mean, that's what he was definitely driving at.
Like, I can't imagine a fish getting much pleasure.
Drunk guy at the bar.
Yeah,
you're beautiful.
You're right.
Come on home.
Yeah. I love how inelegant it is that like he's calling her towards the water.
Oh my God.
He doesn't say like a poem or like a psalm or anything, like nothing from some like spiritual text that has like great meaning.
Yeah.
He's literally just like, hey baby, come here. Like,
yeah. And she's like, oh, you're a hot catfish and I think I'm ugly.
She thought he was a catch.
Yeah. Oh.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, this movie has a little more going on than just
you're carrying
sex.
the weight on it. Yeah. We'll get it. Yeah, let's talk.
So, to kind of act as a jumping off point, I will talk about how I came to be aware of this movie.
There you go.
So I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Drew, who listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
Who I don't think he would mind me disclosing some of this. The reason I'm assuming he came across this movie deals with kidney disease. He was recently diagnosed with kidney disease.
Oh.
And so
sorry to hear that, Drew.
This was a few months ago that he was given the diagnosis, and after a period of medications and doctor's visits of like them actually trying to figure out what the fuck was causing some of his symptoms.
Yeah.
And then finally landing on kidney disease of like, oh, okay, well now we get to navigate like how we deal with this.
Yeah.
He's doing good now.
Yeah.
Like, I talk to him maybe like a couple times a week.
Good.
He is currently cutting back on his medication, and he actually, on one of his more recent visits, they said that his kidneys were functioning better than they had seen before, which is fairly interesting because they didn't really think that was a possibility. Like normally once you like lose kidney function, it's hard to get that back. But
not like an on-off switch, huh?
Yeah. But from what he's told me, things are a lot better than what they were at. But
Good to hear.
I remember him logging this movie, and he told me one day, because this is when we still worked at the same place. He was like, I watched this movie because it was like one of the few movies that like deals with kidney disease.
A couple other things, but yeah,
a couple other things, yeah. Not to like minimize the things that this movie is trying to touch on as a whole.
It's maybe relatable, or it's another gentleman going through similar situation.
Yeah, and like portrayed in a very unique, personal way.
Yeah,
it's like very kind of abstract. But
agreed.
He very much connected with this movie.
Good on.
Even outside of like the kidney involved stuff, it's like very like personally touched by it.
I was about to, yes, I think this movie has an audience, and I understand, and I like people going through other situations. I think if someone was going through kind of cancer, right, maybe 50-50 would be a movie that really resonates with you given the personal circumstances going on.
Is there a fish sex scene in 50-50?
I don't know. Maybe. That's probably a first for me. It hasn't been, and something that, like, if you said that out loud to a stranger and said, I watched a fish sex scene with a catfish and a woman,
I'd be like 911.
Yeah, like that would, and I'd be like, no, it actually wasn't as bad as you thought. It's kind of tranquil.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Kinda, very.
Yeah,
like I took a good ass nap after this movie, but I didn't mean to cut you off from your point that you were making about.
No, I'm just saying, and I think it's so like there are movies like that where with other people that might not resonate with them or having that connection to the film outside of, especially if you're going through something that is possibly niche. I don't know how. I don't have a whole lot of people that I know that have had kidney problems, but I definitely know that it's like when you're going, like having any sort of experience that you're going through. Right, being able to resonate, especially if it touches on what you're going through.
Yeah, well, just like when you're in a situation where you're just suddenly very aware of your own mortality.
Yes.
And it is one of those things where it's like, I would just like to experience something that I know someone has either like created or experienced or put out into the world in some way that is like somewhat relatable at the very least, like something that I can latch onto that someone else has made that's like, oh, they understand, they get it, even if it's like so personal to their own experience. I can at least take something away from this that gives me meaning or like gives me some sense of like peace or comfort, whether or not it's like the specific situation that the guy is going through with his kidney disease or simply just like the way that the nature is portrayed in this movie, and like the people are like walking through, and you just kind of see them live their day-to-day lives in a way, or like the opening scene where like the ox goes out into the forest, and then the man with the sickle comes and takes him away. It's like, oh, this is like so beautifully shot and tranquil, but yet has such like connotations of inevitable mortality.
Yes, a hoop of existence.
Yeah, and I'm excited to talk about a lot of different parts of this.
We are talking about it. Yeah, keep you run with it, because I didn't. It did not connect with me as much as I was sitting there trying to get into the world.
This is a movie that is like it's so specific in its portrayal of this thing and like spirituality and like portraying these creatures, these like kind of silhouette red-eye creatures, and like what that means, but also like there's like no conflict. There's like not a plot really.
No.
Just sort of like portraying the process of this happening while also visualizing spiritual contemplations. Yeah. And like, the possibilities of like what a past life could have meant and all that stuff.
That's why I would have taken more if there was just a little bit more to chew off.
Yeah, this is a 2-hour movie that's like pretty bare on what it's showing you.
Yeah, it's very. There's a. Oh my god, how would you, like, if you're going on the path of life, right? And it was just you and maybe a couple of significant others, and you're kind of holding hands. Just it's really just walking towards the pearly gates. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why the sound mixing and the visuals, right? That's why it's so tranquil and it's so peaceful. Even the way that they're talking, there's no aggression in any of the voice. Everyone is. It's not there. It's almost like a loud whisper. They're just very peaceful. And it's a very much like kind of, I would say, like opposite of Fireflies of the Graveyard.
Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, that's a good kind of comparison. And if we're talking about like the inverse of intention,
yes,
like because Grave of the Fireflies very much like, oh, this is just meant to make you feel a certain type of miserable.
Yeah, like it's just everyone's got a path to get into their death.
Yeah,
right. Like we got the very peaceful path, and then we got the you kind of struggled and didn't make it path.
But it's very fascinating how this movie, in a very naked way, shows you the idea of like your past loved ones who have passed away, just kind of being there with you till the end.
Yeah.
Even if like the movie doesn't outright spell it, you can infer that like, oh, this is maybe something that is like taking place in his head, or like maybe there is such a strong spiritual connection for this individual that like even his family members can see what's going on. At least like from his perception, or like from what we're seeing in this like representation, because it's like, this is very much something that is like so powerful yet naked faced in how it's going about showing the process of this guy dying. It's like, oh, literally all he's thinking about is like his dead wife and his son who he hasn't seen in so long, and like the sort of possible like ponderings of like what that would be like. Because I mean, I think we've all thought about at one point or another, like, what will it be like when I die? Like, what will that day be like? Will I be like in bed surrounded by loved ones? Will I have like a disease? Will I just be like old as shit?
My consciousness before I go?
Just like your state of mind, or like your experience with that, and like how unique is this going to be to me? Am I going to be like living a similar experience that someone else has lived? And it's like, I don't know. There's such a commendable way in which this movie portrays it as like being so unique to what it is, yet still having like such a recognizable quality of like, oh, I've kind of thought about this sort of thing before. Oh, I've thought about like, oh, what if like when I'm dying, I see the faces of my loved ones, and that can look like a lot of different things for a lot of people, like whether or not it's, a religious thing or just purely like a spiritual thing without putting a label on it, or like, some people even like they could possibly hallucinate when they're towards the end, and like maybe that's what that looks like. And it's like, no, for this guy, it's like his wife just literally appears at the table and is like, hey honey, I'm back.
I'm here. We're hanging out. Oh shit, she's there. Yeah, she is my wife. Hi husband. Hey, how you doing? It's been a while. It has.
There's certainly such a because I read that the actors who were reading those lines were just told like, don't put any like emotion behind it. We're just gonna like feed you the lines as we're rolling, and you're just gonna read them. Like plain as text.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, and it's fascinating that like even though this is a foreign film in which we can't understand the language, it's very clear like, oh yeah, they're just like having sort of Nicholas Winding Refn dialogue in how dryly it's delivered, very purposefully so. But I don't know. I really like that. I like a lot of what this movie is doing in terms of like putting all these things together in like a very kind of abstract yet recognizable way, of like the way the nature's portrayed and like these creatures going through and how these people are interacting. It's very, very soothing, to the point where like I was starting to nod off, but not in a way in which I was like bored, in a way that I was like, I could just like
comforted,
like let this wash over me. This movie is like such a blanket that I could just like wrap around myself and be like, if I'm watching this on like a cloudy, cozy day, like it could easily lull me into something.
Yeah, but like, it doesn't make. Yeah,
obviously, like with people who watch movies, like sometimes they have different goals. We watch movies a lot of the time to be entertained. We watch movies for plot or characters.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like the context, to me, the context of the film, if you take away the visuals and the sound,
yes,
it's not. It doesn't. I didn't. didn't gravitate with it. I guess I wasn't very intrigued by the subject matter or what the director was trying to go for.
Which I get. I mean, this feels like such a subjective personal experience that it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of people who watch this going like, what the fuck is this? This is boring as shit.
Yeah, it's not necessarily boring. It's
right.
Like, that's where I get hung up because I wasn't yawning or drifting from it. The issue I had is I just didn't connect with it, and I wasn't very interested in the subject matter. So, like, that's what I'm saying. The visuals and some of the things happening, like you the way that there's no emotionality being conveyed throughout any of this, it makes it interesting too with what's going on. There's no conflict. So it kind of makes you want, like, the only conflict is maybe the servant that gets rejected by the princess. Right? So I mean, like, there are intriguing facets with the film. I guess I haven't had a near death experience or thought about like the end, where I will be at or what I will be doing. So I guess that's another thing too, where it's just never been a contemplation of mine to feel like, all right, like, is this going to be a world where like we have these, like you said, spiritual figures kind of coming through, and is this a medium now? Is this in his head? And I understand what you're saying about it.
Yeah.
I guess I just, like I said, I had a hard time connecting with it, and it's not.
That's fair.
It's not for a lack of the movie itself, because like I said, I mean, I watched this thing straight through, and my mind's going throughout the whole thing, but.
Yeah, it just sort of bounced off of you, like the backboard, just like boom.
I'm telling you, the visuals
for the shot
and the
just
sound mixing and some of the things going on with it, very well done.
Yeah,
and there's moments like, I mean, the princess, probably the second act, and you're kind of like, all right, where are we going at from here? Is this? Yeah, and then I guess that's
there's like enough intrigue there to like kind of carry you through.
Yeah,
but the connectivity just like was not bringing you in fully.
Yeah, like, I don't know, are you the catfish having sex with this gal? Like, I don't know what does this mean?
Right? Yeah, there's some things that are just like, I think if you're someone who watches this movie and is like, there are just things that I just like are put off by, or like I just do not.
Oh, that's what it. Yes.
Do not connect with in any way. It's like,
what the fuck was that movie called?
Yeah, I get it. You're thinking of a specific movie?
Yeah, it was. We just watched it too.
Train Dreams?
No. That's Melancholy. The vibes both felt the same. No, what was this? So, was it Soderbergh? First person ghost.
Presence.
Totally reminded me of Presence. Mm-hmm. And I felt Presence was a segue from this thing in terms of making it somewhat of a horror story. And I was thinking like, oh, this would be like Presence, at least for me.
Yeah.
Channeling, going through kind of a medium with a spiritual figure, kind of going through. Now the perspectives are different too, because we're with Boonmee, right? That's who kind of we're focused on with this story, and where Presence was with the ghost itself.
Yeah.
It felt to me very of the same style, same vibe. And
I can kind of see it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think and that's what I'm saying. Like, Presence would be more so an examination of what's going on in the home, and maybe that perspective
and the
of
family dynamic, yeah.
Yeah, right. And with this one, it's you kind of think about like if it's like a not a prison, but almost like if worlds were sandwiched, right? There's a gateway, right? All I'm saying, so like once you're kind of getting near death, right? Maybe you like open up the gateway.
The worlds that you're familiar with, like whether past or present, start to converge. Is that what you mean?
No, I meant like with not. We're moving on from Presence. Boonmee, right? Having these figures pass through his eyes and this world for him. I'm trying to like.
Yeah, I was thinking
grounded.
Yeah,
and not necessarily from past or present, just from. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, it could be from past because past lives come in, But what's this ultimately like? What world are we living in?
Right.
And I think that was another kind of like a little bit of a takeaway from me.
I enjoy overall just like how kind of stilted the dialogue is, but in a way that's like so plain, because it's like the way that it is delivered with the portrayal of like how things are shot and like the pacing and everything makes it feel so mundane, but in a way that I like, because it feels like the movie is telling me, oh, the process of death, specifically this guy's death, where he's like set up these conditions where like he's at the countryside, he's with some of his loved ones, he's like living out the last of his days in like one of the most peaceful ways that you could probably
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine.
Yeah.
I like that it is portraying it in a way that's like, oh, that we're not like building to something that is like this grandiose thing. We're not like getting a scene where like he's on his deathbed and he's like saying his last regrets, or like, you know, telling his family, oh, I love all of you, blah, blah, blah. You mean the world to me. Like, no, we're showing this in a way that's so straightforward and naked face that it is just, you kind of have to take it as like, oh yeah, this is a fact of life. This is just something that's just gonna happen. Yeah. And like this guy fortunately has met the conditions of being able to do that in a way that he has like some modicum of control over, where like they go to the cave of where he suspects he has lived a previous life, and just kind of drifts off with the people closest to him nearby. Yeah. Whether spiritual or physical. And it's like, yeah, no, that not many people get to have this. This is like, you know, basically like one of the best case scenarios for this type of thing. And to show it in a way that's like, I don't know, so tranquil, I think was really effective for me.
Well, it's comforting. It's one of those very things comforting. With death, it's so alarming because you don't know what the next step is, right?
But a lot of movies, like when they portray death for a character, especially the main character, and it's like, you know, oh, they're dying, they're on their deathbed. There's like such a sadness to it. Yeah. There's like such a raw emotion there. And to have this be pretty emotionally distant, to me was like, oh yeah, this is like...
Well, peace is an emotion.
Peace, yeah. A sense of peace is an emotion.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Like there's such a...
It's just another portrayal of kind of coming to terms with the end.
Yeah, there's such a simpleness to it that I respect quite a bit.
Yeah. I don't really... That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't... yeah. It is cool that he went out that way. I'm happy. It was peaceful, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it felt like kind of, you know, we get at the beginning, you know, we get the circle of life going on, and I was like, is this Ox, this Boonmee guy? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm like, how many of these things are see the guy killing it? And yeah, I mean, it's tranquil, it's peaceful. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're walking to the pearly gates, and this is an examination. There's one aspect where if you're talking like Grave of the Fireflies, that walk is not great. No. You know, there's like I think of Gus Van Sant's Last Days, right, where that's kind of tragic and played out, and you see what depression does, and then you get this one where it's, yeah, you know, I've kind of come to terms with it, you know, and it's just it's all different kind of angles and looks at it, and you know, I thought it was all right to me. I mean, I didn't, and that's why I say I guess I just didn't connect with it, but I don't really connect with anything that I guess is kind of leading to death. Not to say like what do you want to shielding from it? It's just one of those concepts I haven't really like thought about or like gotten into of like, I wonder how I'll go out. Will it be this way? Now I will say, if I have to go out, this was pretty peaceful.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is kind of like
top 5 Watch Mojo ways of dying.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like it was like, man, like that, like they were so, like he was so cool with, that's what I'm saying. Like the dialogue, like you said, it's mundane, intentional though. Mm-hmm. I mean, the conversations that are going on are like, dude, there's so like, figuratively speaking, there's a shit more happening in your world right now than the fucking beehive that you want your sister-in-law to eat from and to tell her that the larva's at the bottom and that the honey's at the top.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's so much sweeter up here, right? And he's talking to his Laos crew, and he's like, I don't even remember what they were talking. It was like just a generic job about how they met, I think. And it's like, I was like, man, there's not a whole lot going on, but I mean, it was, yeah, like you're at peace with it. It's tranquil, but I got a lot more from the visual and the sounds out of it. Like if I'd not necessarily muted it, but you took the dialogue out and just saw them like going like that, it would have been kind of the same experience.
Yeah, probably would have been the same effect. And I like the little sprinklings of dialogue that like kind of tell you like a very minimal amount of like what their whole deal is. So like the sister-in-law has like a problem with immigrants, like that keeps getting brought up with his like Laotian assistant.
Oh yeah, yes.
And then you get like, this is more like towards the end, but like the scene where like I think his nephew or whatever becomes a monk, but then he like sneaks back in and is like, yeah, I'm going to take a shower and then I'm going to put my normal clothes on and then we can go out. And it's like, I don't know. There's just like small things like that are like, oh, this is like so specific and lived in that I kind of appreciate just how almost abstract it feels in like how we're just seeing this person's like very specific situation play out that like, well, we can maybe kind of like recognize some of these qualities, like, you know, that feeling you get like where, you know, after like a funeral or like an open house or like something where people give you thank you cards and you have to like sort through them all. And it's like, oh, we got $100 from Doris and Jennifer, you know, we got $50 from Mark. And it's like, you know, sorting through that. And it's like, oh yeah, there's like some things in here that has like a universality to it, whether or not it's like specific for one person or another person. Like there's different things that can, you know, people can relate to that I think this movie really kind of like touches on in like such little ways, little tiny ways, like little itty bitty ways. That being said, this movie is very aggressively just kind of like indirect with how it plays out.
Meandering?
Yeah, I guess that's another word for it. Yes, it can feel like that for sure. Especially when like you don't really have a sense of plot or like narrative propulsion.
Well, you're kind of explaining it. It's a CCTV of a guy dying.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, more or less.
I mean, it's like, where else are you going to go from here? The plot is the acceptance of death.
But I think a lot of it, too, is like just stuff that you kind of have to just infer, whether or not through your own experiences or like what you're trying to dig from the film.
I'd be interested in how much of this plays into some of the, like, was the Taiwan, right? Like, that's one of the things that I missed were the location. Like, they talked about Laos. And I was like, this seems like some South Pacific, you know, area where I don't know exactly where
I think it's
at.
Thailand.
Thailand?
Yeah.
So
it's like northeast of Thailand, Isan.
Yep. You know, so like I don't know if they played into some of the mythos or some of the you know, religious aspects of that culture.
Oh, I would assume so.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's also where it kind of gets lost, like on an audience member, is that inference where it's like if they were talking about, I don't know, David slaying Goliath. I think that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And you brought it over to Thailand, like they might not have any fucking idea like why that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, and that's where some of the loss in translation occurs between the different cultures, like in some of maybe what they were, you know, and yeah, and that's I guess it's another reason too. Where I was just like, like I'm interested, but I don't know what I'm watching.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, like even the stuff with the like the shadow people, I don't know exactly what to call them.
I don't either.
They call them like monkey ghosts or something.
Well,
where like the son comes back and he's like, yeah, I was kind of looking for like this thing that I took a picture of and then I found one and mated with it and then I became one of them.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of like a specter of death. And whenever death is like around something, whether or not it's you, Dad, or like this ox in the forest, I'm kind of just there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just sort of hanging out.
Hey. Don't mind me.
I mean, it's very like kind of creepy and effective imagery at points where it's like just these things in the forest just staring at you with the red eyes.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
they're not doing much.
They're not. That's what I'm saying too. It's
out.
like it should be creepy, but I'm like, oh, this is so peaceful. Like, hey, maybe I'll have a conversation with it. Like, you go from, you know, being Bowser to just like buddies.
Yeah.
Like you're not your trouble. It's like, don't mind me, just a little monkey man here. And
yeah.
You're not in good shape. It's like, I'm not. Yeah, you want to hang out? Sure. That's where like the tranquility. It's melancholy. It's tranquil. It's peaceful. Like, what do you want? I was laughing at points in this thing, just kind of just, you know. And I don't think it was meant to be scary or supposed to intimidate you. It's just kind of like one of those things of like, hey, like, you know, your journey comes to an end at some point. Here's a really nice way of viewing it that way.
It's funny because when it got to the scene where they were at the table, just kind of like hanging out on that, like, trellis area or whatever.
I was wondering how many fucking things were going to show up.
Well, I was like, before the wife kind of phases in, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, so this is going to be like a mostly grounded movie of like, characters dealing with this guy's kidney disease,
Literally
right?
thought it was going to be like, who's our boy? The who directed fucking Tree of Life?
Terrence Malick.
Thought it was going to be a 2-hour Terrence Malick thing.
And then she started phasing in.
Yeah.
And I, in my couch, was like, excuse me?
What?
I just like leaned forward and was like, okay, you got my attention here, a pitch a pong.
I mean, it was like, she started phasing in. I was like, oh, she wasn't there, was she?
You're
And all of a
right.
sudden
They
they're
do
like-
it in such a way that it's like so like it doesn't focus on it.
No,
it's
they
not like
do it
zooming in.
There's a back shot, right? Like, they're away from it, and all of a sudden it's just kind of like we have the whole crew in there.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of like slowly phasing her in.
And this movie is like kind of, at least for me at the time, it was already like putting me in this state of like almost like tranquil sleepiness, and where I was like, was she there?
You were going
already?
that route. I was going Terrence Malick, like, what the fuck? And then she faded. Yeah, no, I'm with you, because like I had to do a double take, and I was like, because then they were both like, whoa.
That's some of the stuff that I think this movie is doing, whether like, consciously on its part or not. At least for me, what it was doing was like putting me in such a state where I was like, I'm getting a little foggy headed, but in a way that I like. And then it would do these things where it introduces these like kind of spiritual elements where I'm like, is this a real thing? Is this a thing that like I should just believe?
So
like,
I had one. So
is this real?
They had they phased her in. And I'm like, I thought the chick with him was his wife, right?
Yeah.
Like there was some. I thought that was his wife, and all of a sudden she's in there. It's like, that's my wife, and I was like, all right, what's going on? Because he's totally cool with her now, and that's like, how's she taking this? But then you find out,
Right.
And then the monkey man comes, and you kind of find out, specter of death, whatever. Like he's,
but I'm also your son.
Yeah.
That, like, after mom died, I like went into the woods and like never came back.
Yeah, sorry, but I'm here now. We can hang out.
What's up?
Yeah. Hey, Dad. And
you guys got ice cream in the fridge?
Literally, and then the other guy comes in, runs past that dude, right? And like, hey, how's it going, Pops? And then he goes, whoa. And he's like, that's your aunt or whatever. Or no, that was his nephew that came running up, right? Because he's like, that's your aunt.
The nephew comes up and is like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, that's your aunt that died. Oh, cool.
All right, nice to meet you, man.
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
And, there's like a very casual cadence about it. And then the Laotian guy comes back and is like, am I like losing my fucking mind?
Yeah.
Like what the hell is going on?
That's where I was like, dude, I am relating to you right now.
He's not even like upset about it. He's just like,
no one in this film's upset about anything.
nobody told me that there were going to be ghosts.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll deal with it.
Yeah, what type of shit is this? Who are you again? His wife? Yeah. You still look pretty good.
He's like, well, I feel like I'm the only crazy one here.
Yeah, I know. No, my man. Well, I'm saying, like, that kid came running in. I was like, is this guy dead too?
Right.
He's like, that's your aunt. He's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you, man. And I'm like, I don't think he's dead. But who's his son? Yeah, so. Yeah.
When they make a compilation of like top dinner scenes in movies, this should be number one, right?
I do. So the reason why I'm also, I don't know about one, but yeah, this is up there with like, I don't know how to feel. And the reason why there's more leeway on my end to it with this too is I like the camera shots when it's both parties talking, when like they had all 5 characters in there, right?
Yes.
And there's never over the shoulder. Maybe that's more of like an American style, probably with ADHD shit.
More of a Hollywood style, I would say.
Like to keep the pace going. But like, I really appreciate when you can get 7 people on the screen and all, like there's dialogue going back and forth. Everyone knows their mark. And you have the back and forth going on because you do get a little bit more of that intentional, humanistic feel with it, right?
Yeah, there's like a lived-in quality there, and I was having this conversation with Gideon the other day where I was like, you can tell. We were talking about Begonia.
Oh yeah,
I was like, you can tell how competent a director is by how they shoot conversations.
Yes,
with like the dinner table scene between like Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone. Not getting into specifics.
Yeah.
That's in the trailer.
Yeah.
But just things where like, oh yeah, there's clearly like an intention here where like this guy had this goal, went about it in the way that he wanted to.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah, I'm not gonna compromise for the sake of making this clearer or like to appealing to everyone. Mm-hmm. Like I'm just gonna do it how I want to do it, and there's gonna be something you latch onto stylistically, like performance, like whatever.
Yeah.
And I have not seen a Pitchapong's other films. This is the first one. Might watch some more. I don't know.
Oh, really, really liked it. We're going inverse effect with Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
The only one that I think he has directed that has actors that we would recognize is one with Tilda Swinton called Memoria. Came out in 2021. Which I've heard good things about, but
check that one out.
This guy is very much like independent director, steeped within the kind of landscape and the culture of Thailand. Doesn't really like weigh too much outside of that, but has enough of a following to where like, and I guess this is a common thing between people with long names from that region.
Okay,
but like has commented saying that family and friends just call him Joe.
Oh,
because his name's so long. It's like, yeah, some people just call me Joe. Like my fans call me Joe, my friends call me Joe.
Yep. Kyle found that in Hollywood, by the way.
Wikipedia, thank you very much.
Sorry, yeah.
My ultimate source of all things discussing movies on this podcast.
How do we know that guy knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go to the source's source. But yeah, I don't know. This guy has like such a specific voice that I'd be curious what his other films are like. I know you'll probably be like, I'm good.
I am good. Yeah.
Got good. What I needed.
Well, if one of these things pop up, and I'm not going to pigeonhole anyone. And I will say like this too about the film is that this is a well done film. Mm-hmm. Like I can't iterate it enough that there's a lot going on with it that I was like, given the subject matter and how it's like acted out, it sounds dry as hell. But like there's enough I didn't get like I wasn't bored, I wasn't yawning. There's a lot on the screen that's happening. I really appreciate when you can film on location, right?
Yes.
You can get out in the countryside, you can get out in these areas. That dinner scene, beautifully shot. You get the mosquitoes going on. Like there's always this like element of like white noise happening, even when they're at the waterfall and she's just like, there's like literally no conversation happening. It's just a waterfall going, and you never lose that sound, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't cut in and out of conscious. It doesn't go into, it's just always there. So like it's a well-crafted film, and the guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And for the subject matter and what was going on, there are movies like this that I kind of like, oh shit. I sometimes you latch on, sometimes you don't. But I wouldn't say this is a poorly made film, and I don't think that this guy's a schlock. I'm not rushing out to see more of these types of films, but I mean, like, was it Memoria?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the subject matter is different, or he's grabbed. Who knows? Or
Who
his
knows?
other films. But yeah, I also say too, felt a little misled. I was expecting a little bit more trippy psychedelic.
The cover kind of evokes more of a like, oh, this is going to be a trip that you're going to go on.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I'm
Trip in more than one sense of the word.
Not necessarily like a humorful way of going down, but I feel like there's been other ways that I've seen kind of death explored in which we're kind of in this, a split between realities, right?
Yeah.
There's a rift in the universe, right? And you're kind of a doorway opened, right? And there's a way to explore this.
I was almost expecting this movie to be like so abstract and like undiscernible.
I was kind of thinking it was going to be like Everything Everywhere All at Once or Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, where we're just kind of hopping in between these lives that this guy lived in.
Yeah.
And like that specter, because the eyes thing, it's on one of them. It's right there, yeah. I thought that might be him exploring these different, opening these other doors to see what happened, and that necessarily wasn't the case.
I thought he was Uncle Boonmee. Yeah,
Yeah.
the shadow figure.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Was there anything else we wanted to discuss with Uncle Boonmee?
I told you you'd be carrying the weight with it.
I think I have said all I needed to say. I mean, there's such a simplistic way that
Can't say it because you just dogged. Good luck, have fun, don't die for being simplistic.
No, I was using the wrong word. I was going to say there is such a kind of simple appreciation I have for this.
Yeah.
Where there's not much going on in this movie, admittedly, where it's like, there's not a ton that we can like delve into and analyze necessarily. But I think a lot of what works about this movie is so kind of like personal and just like what you take away from it and like where your headspace is at when you watch it, and like just how much of this do you want to invite into your headspace when it comes to like thinking about the concept of death or like past lives, or
I don't know if it's inviting,
right? Just like,
it's an interpretation of death that you want to explore with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like how much of this do you want to like kind of massage and sort of like
you got to have some thoughts
take away
and get into the headspace of a guy going, approaching death.
Yeah.
And that
very, very straightforwardly in a way that was kind of unexpected for me going into this.
Yeah,
like
it's not, expectations kind of misled from the album poster.
From the poster.
Yeah, album poster. Yeah. It's a very kind of, I don't know, it's not like it hits you over the head with a baton either. It's kind of like a fluffy pillow.
It's a very fluffy pillow.
It's just kind of like a boop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, sleepy time.
Yeah.
Shall we get into ratings?
Yeah.
All right. I think you go first.
Yeah, I like I said, I this is it's an interesting film. It feels very indie. Mm-hmm. There are elements of this that I really appreciate. Just I will say the simplicity of it. I enjoyed the dialogue without having any sort of emotionality around it. I mean, it feels very much of just like a day-to-day conversation that you have with someone. Like, I would compare this almost to if we spent a afternoon with a father who had to mow his lawn and was dealing with like stress or anxiety, and we just got to hear everything that happened in the outside world and how he decompressed that way. It is something that is, it can be worthy or whatever you want to say, enjoyable. I didn't connect with the subject matter much, and I didn't really have I guess I was just trying to decipher what was going on and how we were going through this journey as opposed to just going through the journey with him. And that's kind of on me. But at the end of the day, just didn't really connect with the film. But like I said, this guy can make film, and I'm not going to knock the film itself because like I said, most of the Terrence Malick film I will 100% trash if I have to. Okay, like I'm not going to sit there and watch fucking art being brought to life. I know that might be part of everyone's, but that's not me. But this one, it's mostly just what was happening and kind of just not having a good understanding of it. And I don't know. I got this on. I mean, we got it on Amazon for what, $250? I don't know if it's got rewatchability or not. I don't know if you'd rewatch. I would be interested to hear that.
I'd probably throw it on. Set the vibe.
You're gonna throw it on. Let me guess. You're writing or you're doing dishes.
Writing would be a little more like romantic in a sense. Like,
what are you writing about with this on?
I don't know. Uncle Boonmee?
Yeah. No, but it's a 6 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Is it?
I think so. Oh, I mean, I think that's like part of the joy of this movie is like the subjective experience and how
we have to hear Drew's score too. Did he give a score for this?
I know Drew's score.
Do you?
Yeah, it's going to be the same as mine.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I think he initially
lining up with Drew.
I think he initially had it higher, but then I think he lowered it.
Really?
Because I follow him on Letterboxd.
Oh.
So I can see all of his ratings. As for my own, This is a movie that I was very curious about, so I'm glad that we decided to say yes to this on the slate. Pairing this up with a very different, opposite movie almost in every single way.
Yeah, very much so. Coked out compared to this thing.
Yeah, this thing is Quaaludes.
Yes.
But in a way that I like, in a way that I think is fascinating. We talk about rewatchability. You asked me if I was just going to, throw this on or whatever. And it's like, probably not. This is probably not going to be one that I would be like, super jazzed to revisit. But it's going to be one that I think will stick with me for a while. Mm-hmm. I think the kind of like mundanity of the portrayal of different things in this movie really kind of draws me into its allure, like the tranquil, like very kind of sleepy-eyed way that it's presenting all these things is just like, I don't know, it really kind of affected me yesterday when I watched it, and like
there's
put
a
me
vibe it captured with you.
It put me in a really good headspace, honestly, and this is an 8 out of 10. This is something that like I would obviously not tell people to like, yeah, go rush out and see Uncle Boonmee. Like, this is gonna rock your dick. Like, no, it's not. It's not that type of movie. This is something that like you got to be, I think, in either the right mood or like headspace or like receptive to whatever this movie is going to offer to you on an individual level.
You were in the right headspace and the right mood when you threw this on yesterday night.
I think so. Yeah. Well, I watched it in like the afternoon, like. Started at 3:00, ended at 5.
Yeah.
Megan didn't get home yet, so I was like, I can take a little sleepy time nap now that this is done.
Sleep.
Kinda, but I like that. I kind of liked how it did that.
I'm glad that Drew connected with it too, because there are films that are you just don't hear about, ever watch, right?
Yeah.
But then you get to hear about a personal experience and how it kind of gets you there, and also how it resonates, right? Mm-hmm. And it's I'm glad that it hit with them, and I'm glad that he suggested it. I think probably if I had to pick two scenes I will never forget, I don't think would ever leave my head,
the fish?
Not even like in a bad way. Yeah, the fish for sure. If I've never seen a catfish have sex with a female. And the dinner scene.
Yeah.
Like that whole dinner scene. And that was a good 20 minutes, I think. 15.
Probably for me too, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's some of the stuff will be a little lost in the sauce after time. But I think those two scenes in particular, I don't know why that dinner scene, I just really liked it. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have like an old soul, but just being outside, like under the awning, the gazebo type deal. We're eating, the mosquitoes are out there. It looks like it's like 74, 9 p.m., not too hot. And then all these people just start showing, because I love, it's like the wedding scenes in movies, right? Where you get the cast of, like Deer Hunter, the cast of characters are showing up. And they're all talking, and there's no friction whatsoever. It's just really kind of like living in the moment. Yeah. And having no fucking clue where we're going or what's happening, and just being like transfixed.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there's just, yeah. So that's props to you, Drew. Thank you for recommending it.
We got a game that we could play. I got a game for us, if you're down.
Sure. Yeah, we got time.
We got a little bit of time. This won't take too long. So we've played this game before.
Okay.
This is the second installment of the game, Lost in Translation, Danish edition. So if you don't remember from last time,
yeah,
I have found foreign translations of English movie titles, and I'm going to read the translation while Mac is going to try to guess what the actual movie title is in English.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to be saying the foreign words. I'm just going to be saying...
We got you.
You understand what I mean.
So the Danish translation is this.
Yep.
And then I got to guess that.
You got to guess what the title that you're familiar with is.
Okay.
So I'm going to skip some of these, because some of these I'm not like entirely familiar with, and I don't know if you would be, but I think there's enough meat to chew on here.
Sure.
So the first one... you got to guess this one for The Boss and the Bum.
The Boss and the Bum.
The Boss and the Bum is the Danish title for this movie.
Oh, okay.
If you want hints, I can provide hints.
Yeah, what won't give it away? Like year, director, and
I can tell you this is a two-hander comedy.
okay, rom-com.
No. Male leads. Two male leads.
The Boss and the Bum. Yeah, because I don't want to have a whole lot of dead airtime on this.
I'll cut it down.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So the Boss and the Bum, and I am trying to think of a Trading Places.
Yes.
Really?
You got it.
Wow.
Ding, ding, ding. Trading Places. The Danish title for that is The Boss and the Bum.
How about that shit?
I know, right?
That's the only one I'll
Speaking
ever
of
get.
bum, that's where shit comes out of.
Yeah.
This next one. So this is a Danish title. Hollywood Behind the Scenes.
The Black Dahlia. No.
Jesus Christ. The Epstein Files.
Yeah. Okay. That was a good one. Hollywood Behind the Scenes. Let's do LA Confidential.
Nope.
Well, yeah. So if I get it wrong, how about I get like two guesses or something like that? You give me a hint if I get it wrong.
Okay, so I'll give you a hint. This is a movie that's been remade, I think, once every 20 years.
Jesus Christ. Hollywood Behind the Scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's once every 20 years. Okay, so this came out in the 2000s. The Producers.
Nope. So this usually stars a
Male, female?
male, female.
Star is Born.
Star is Born.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. I was going to give you even more of a hint than that, but you got it.
Yeah, but that's not even...
Hollywood Behind the Scenes. I don't know what to tell you.
Man.
This is the stuff that they don't show you.
Yeah, isn't it the...
Behind the
aren't
curtain.
they making... isn't it about singers?
You get to take a peek behind the curtain.
And watch
the
them
Hollywood
sing.
curtain. Yeah.
They're not even acting.
What are they doing behind the curtain? I don't know. They're dealing with alcohol.
Yeah.
Singing in
Yeah,
bars,
addiction.
maybe. Yeah. Relationships breaking down. So this next one, the Danish title is Night of the Masks.
Night of the Masks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, night as in day or night, or night as in...
Night as in it is nighttime outside.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Night behind the mask. Night
of the Masks.
Night of the Masks. Phantom of the Opera.
No. This is a horror movie. Came out in the late 70s.
Halloween.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Night behind the mask.
Night Behind the Masks, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure there's only the one singular mask in Halloween, right? Like, there's not plural
Unless
masks.
you're talking about like the realities of the people in there and how they're not all there.
I guess so I'm reading this from a Reddit post that someone made. And I guess in parentheses, they have in notes, we hadn't adopted the holiday at that point. So they didn't have a name for Halloween. So they called the movie Night of the Masks.
Oh.
Because
it's Halloween.
when it's Halloween
Got
and
it.
people are fucking walking around trick-or-treating or whatever.
So they literally just coined what people do and they didn't have Halloween? Okay.
Mm-hmm. This next one I think you'll get. I think this is pretty straightforward. The Hotel of Evil.
The Shining.
Yep, it's The Shining. That one was kind of a layup.
Yeah.
This next one might be a little eyebrow raising.
Okay.
The Pig Who Danced.
Oh, whoa. There's so many ways. Is it a colloquial meaning? Pig cop? Pig corporate boss? Ugly lady that danced? Frances Ha?
Do you want a hint?
Sure.
It's a little more literal than that.
There's a dancing pig.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a while since I've seen this, actually.
Babe? Pig in the City?
Ooh, that is very close.
Charlotte's Web?
Yes. Charlotte's Web.
Yep.
Never heard of it.
Well, no, I was about to say, I don't know if I've ever seen that movie, but I'm pretty sure I saw it when I was like 7.
It's one of those movies that like I have a vague sense of maybe seeing it, and I definitely know what the story is.
Yeah.
But would I revisit it? I don't know. Do I feel like crying? Anyway, let's move on to the next one. So the Danish title for this is Who Said Moron?
Who's that or who said?
Who said moron? So I will tell you this. Moron, the word moron is in quotations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was.
Who
saying.
said moron?
Yeah,
Mac is
Zoran.
So this is a comedy.
Yeah,
This is a prominent comedy star in, I would say, the late 80s, early 90s.
Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
No. How do I give another hint? The title kind of means when someone is being mean.
Black Sheep.
No. This is... God, I haven't seen this movie, actually, so I don't know what other hints I can give.
Just read it. I'm not going to get it.
It's The Jerk.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's The Jerk.
Steve Martin.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
Steve Martin. Steve Martin's The Jerk. The next one, and this can be the last one, I think.
Sounds good.
Yeah, this will be a good one to end on. I'm actually not going to read the full title because it kind of gives it away.
Okay.
But I'll read the subtitle.
Okay.
The Eighth Passenger.
The Eighth Passenger.
Now, I actually kind of like this one.
Okay.
Yeah. This
All
one is like a little more subtle with it.
Identity.
No. So this is a sci-fi film.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking aliens or something. Usually when you, Galaxy Quest,
No.
Star Trek,
No.
Star Wars,
No.
the Eighth Sunshine.
I'll give you a very, very helpful hint.
Okay.
You have said the title already.
When I was naming off other movies,
You just casually dropped it.
I did.
Yep.
Man, how do I casually drop the sci-fi movie? Zoran? No, don't mess with the Zohan.
Don't Mess with the Zohan is not a sci-fi.
All right. What the hell did I casually drop?
You like kind of threw it off, and I debated whether or not giving it to you.
Just now?
Like fucking a minute ago.
In this question. So I've already guessed it.
Oh, well, I couldn't tell if it was a guess. You just kind of like lobbed it off.
I
It's
did.
like,
All those were guesses.
okay, well then do you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah.
It's Alien.
Oh.
The way you said it was like, well, I was thinking sci-fi, maybe like Alien or something, but I don't know. And then you
No,
like
I
listed
meant
a bunch of other
Aliens.
movies.
I was saying it's like I knew it was about aliens. I was saying like Galaxy Quest.
You said
aliens.
Alien as in like the generic Alien.
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
the Eighth Passenger, I was like, yeah.
Because you
it's-
said Alien, and I was like, oh, did he get it? Like, do
yeah.
I give it to
I
him?
see where the confusion lies. I get it.
Hey, that's why this game is called Lost in Translation.
Hell yeah. We just proved it.
Exactly.
What was the Star Wars one? What was the Japanese?
It was literally like a war in the stars. Or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And then Die Hard was Die Hard Mega Hard, which I think was specifically for the third movie.
Oh.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yeah, some wacky translations.
Wacky.
So thank you for playing, McLean. I hope you had fun. I hope the audience had fun. And now we're going
to
have...
get some poster art with some of these things. Because I want to say that the Star Wars one, you had poster art too with it.
I think I did. This was just from a Reddit post, so there were no pictures associated with it.
That's because I was about to, that one always sticks in my head because I was like, man, I actually like that better, and I like if I'm not just making this up in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're at the point of the show where we would normally have a recommendation. This time it would be Mac's turn, but next episode, as you guys might know, is going to be our Oscars episode, where we're going to be talking about all 10 Best Picture nominees. And what's especially exciting,
Yes.
What's especially exciting is that we'll be talking about these movies and releasing the episode before the Oscar ceremony
get
itself.
Your freaking daily dose.
We're not going to be influenced by the ceremony.
No.
We're not going to be talking about like, oh man, I can't believe Adam Sandler pulled his balls out on stage.
Yes.
No, none of that. All right? We're just going to be talking about the movies.
If he does that, we will talk about it.
If he does that, we will talk
know.
about it. We'll probably talk about the ceremony in the episode after.
Yeah.
Especially if there's something like that of note.
Adam Sandler pulls his balls out on stage, Kyle knows something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Place your bets right now. I would like a parlay on Adam Sandler's sack.
Yeah. Is it one ball or two balls?
Yeah, well, it's part of the parlay,
Plus $1,000 for each one.
Exactly. But no, we'll be straight up talking about the movies. We won't know who will have won We'll put that episode out even before they reveal the envelope and maybe mess up the reading of the name like they did for, what was it, Spotlight or whatever?
Moonlight.
It was Moonlight. They said La La Land won when Moonlight won or something like that.
It was like, was it Steve Harvey-esque where they get in on the viralism?
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute.
Cool again.
Stop the show. Stop the show.
We messed up. We fucked up. Beep.
Yeah, and then Adam Sandler pulls his balls out.
No, that's happening this one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm getting it twisted.
Maybe. Oh, like his balls.
Yeah. They're old, wrinkly. You can like spin them around.
Yeah.
Like a Christmas ornament.
That's right.
Except not Christmas because he's Jewish. So it'd be like a Hanukkah ornament.
No.
Do they have ornaments?
Yeah, they got dreidels.
Spin it like a dreidel.
Whoa!
There you go.
Hell yeah.
See where they land.
Yeah, Kyle with his new Jewish rap album.
And you guys can see where we land on our Oscar nominations in our next episode.
Yes.
Episode 115.
Oh, we should have a couple picks in there too.
Oh, like predictions?
Yeah, because we get it out before it comes out. And then people can go, this is what,
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
We can determine that.
Yes.
All right. You guys be sure to check those movies out before episode 115. McLean, what do we say to get us out of here? And I'm going to tell you, good luck.
Have fun.
WWTHD. Bye, everyone. The Neon Crew podcast is hosted by Kyle Yates and McLean Parker. Kyle, who is myself, also helps to produce, edit, and upload every episode. Our music was composed by Gideon Hunter. Our artwork was created by Lauren Hunter. Thank you so much for listening to our show. Episodes get scheduled to release every 2 weeks. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Follow us on various social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube community page for updates and information on upcoming episodes. Want to join the Neon Mafia? Head over to our shop page at etsy.com/shop/the Neon Crew Podcast for some quality, comfortable merch.